The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media. Is the reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Arirang in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday.
Another one.
Yeah, indeed.
What can we do? We brave another week.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. How about yourself?
Good. Me too. Me too.
Well rested, good food.
Well rested and a lot of work. Nothing new there. Yeah, it was good. I'm good. Yeah.
All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with a follow-up story to something Erica brought to us last week. So a Busan resident who did put up that rising sun flag on Memorial Day of all days has apologized.
That's right. We have some updates on the story. This resident of an apartment complex in Busan who last week faced severe backlash for hanging the rising sun flag on Memorial Day at that has finally issued an apology. So on Friday, this resident sent a letter of apology to news reporters and expressed what he described as deep regrets for his actions. The resident first and foremost directed his apology to the families of veterans and also fellow apartment residents. The resident admitted the behavior was wrong, regardless of the intentions behind it. And he also promised not to repeat such actions in the future.
I think that's the big question. I mean, what is his intent, right?
Yeah.
So in his apology, he did try to clarify that he did not use a rising sun flag out of any pro-Japanese sentiment, but there's apparently a long story behind his intention.
That's right. So the details have not been made super clear, but the resident had claimed in previous media interviews that the controversial act of hanging the rising sun flag was an attempt to bring attention to a long-standing conflict that he's been having with the Suyeonggu district in Busan since 2007 that involved alleged construction corruption in the district. He even published an ebook titled Thieves of National Property, Why We Hung the Rising Sun Flag. I translated the
Korean title.
The Korean title into English. Now, he explained that before flying the controversial flag, he wrote in the preface of his book, corrupt officials are waving the taegukgi while deceiving the public, so we must reveal their true nature, even if it means having to wave the rising sun flag to get the public's attention.
Get the public's attention in all the wrong ways.
In all the wrong ways. He did acknowledge that it was foolish of him to use the controversial flag to draw attention to the issue.
Okay.
Now, the man added that he had reached out to the Secretary General of the Korea Liberation Association to convey his apology and that he was grateful for their forgiveness. He said that he also intends to meet and apologize to as many people as possible in the coming days.
And at least based on his recent apology, he doesn't intend to use the rising sun flag again, right?
Hopefully not.
Okay, so on June 6th, Memorial Day, the resident hung 2 rising sun flags and a banner reading collaborative fraud outside his window.
Yeah, and this news spread very quickly on social media. Public outrage grew. Neighbors threw trash at his door, egged his door, stuck messages of condemnation on his door. The man, after all of this, removed the flags that same evening.
Freedom of speech, it does have boundaries, and I think this one crosses it. All right, we'll leave it there for now. I'm hoping that's the last of it.
I hope so.
Okay, let's move on to our second, much more pleasant buzzword this morning. It's summer. It feels like summer. I turned on the AC for the first time this season. It just during the day, not only was it hot, it was humid.
Yeah, very humid.
Okay, which means it's also the season of icy desserts like shaved ice, and apparently hotels are really embracing local flavors to give the infamous mango ice desserts a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, the mango shaved ice still remains incredibly popular. Yeah, and very expensive. With the prices of food going up, so is the price of the mango bingsu.
It already started at sky-high
Yeah.
prices, so we're wondering if that's necessary. But hey, at least it's getting some run for its money.
Yeah.
Competitors are here.
So there's a trend going on right now, especially when it comes to food, called low economy.
Okay.
And hotels and resorts across South Korea are rolling out these unique desserts, shaved ice desserts that highlight local specialties. Now, economy is a blend of the two words local and economy, and it refers to the trend of consuming products that use, things that are famous in that area. Like, I don't know, 초당 옥수수, 초당 corn.
Like sweet corn?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
or
right.
green tea.
Yum.
Things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually a popular tourist attraction if you think about it. Like, I don't really care much for lavender ice cream, but you can imagine if you're in Provence, you would want to try lavender ice cream.
Yeah, I guess.
Something like that. So what kind of local specially shaved ice treats are out there?
So this one hotel in Seoraksan Mountain, well, near there, Kensington Hotel, launched something called Seoraksan Shaved Ice back in 2022. The hotel has seen its sales of the dessert increase by about 110% every year. So the dessert combines ice, sweetened red beans, condensed milk, and green tea powder. And, so far it sounds very, it sounds familiar. Oh, that's just your regular
shaved
팥빙수,
ice,
right?
yeah.
But the way that they present this bingsu is intended to resemble the nearby Seoraksan Mountain.
Actually, I remember there was one hotel. It's not the same hotel,
Yeah.
but nearby. And because Seoraksan also does have pine trees, actually a lot of the Korean
Yeah.
mountains have pine trees. They decided to freeze espresso shots into pine cones, and that's how they make their pine cone lattes.
Yeah, and in the age of social media,
It's very photogenic.
it has to be photogenic. It has to be shareable.
Because honestly, the frozen espresso shots, it just doesn't melt fast enough to taste like coffee.
Right.
But it looks good.
Exactly. And then there's another Kensington resort nearby in Gosong in Gangwon-do province that's bringing back its popular chodang corn shaved ice this year. Now the treat features chodang 옥수수. It's a really sweet type of corn. I mean, the corn that you find here in Korea, old grandmas sometimes like steam them on the streets. They're not sweet actually. They have a very chewy texture.
It's almost like a whole meal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very chewy.
Very dense. But chodang 옥수수, it's really sweet.
And crunchy.
And crunchy as well. So this particular dessert features chodang corn puree, corn-shaped ice cream, a nod to the region's famous chodang corn. Now, last summer, the dessert accounted for 40% of the hotel cafe's sales, which is crazy, right?
Okay,
40%.
so it's good business for
Yeah.
these hotels. All
Yes.
right.
So, and down in Jeju-do Island in Seogwipo, We Hotel Jeju is debuting its Jeju-inspired shaved ice this summer. It showcases the island's signature flavors, including black sesame dolharubang ice cream, halabong oranges, and omicha rice cake. And it took 2 months, apparently, for the food and beverage team to develop the concept, and it's been really well received by guests. There's another hotel over in Incheon that's offering a green tea tiramisu shaved ice inspired by the summer scenery and the greenery of the Central Park in Songdo International City. Now, this dessert has been also getting a lot of attention on social media as well.
Of course.
So, hotel industry insiders noted that many hotels are creating shaved ice desserts featuring local landmarks, specialties as part of their effort to support the local communities. And they say they hope that this low economy trend is going to help boost regional tourism.
I mean, A for effort, obviously, but let's be honest, it's about the bottom line. How is this trickling down to the local community? Someone explained to me, unless you're sourcing from a local vendor.
That's right.
In which case, all the respect.
Yep. But anyways, bingsu is a very popular dessert here in Korea. Foreigners love it too. It's like on their eat list when they visit Korea.
Yeah. I just say try all the varieties because, I mean, in my neighborhood, there's this local cafe that nobody really, hypes up, but they have blueberry shaved ice. And it's just a lot of blueberries on shaved ice with
And
syrup.
in the spring season, it's all about strawberries.
Yes,
right?
yes. There's strawberry
And then
buffets.
Shine Muscat was very popular for a while.
Look, see, here's the thing. We're so overexposed to it. Look at how over it she is. I'm over it too. If you try it once, it's good.
But I think it'd be a really fun experience for families with kids, you know.
it
Ooh, look
really
at this. It looks like Soraksan, you know.
And then
right outside
we
our
go to
window.
break it. And
Yeah.
you know what? If you need a treat that photographs really well, this is it.
Yep.
On to the next. Over in Rio, its most famous landmark is apparently lighting up in Korean hanbok. Really?
This was quite a sight, actually. I sort of did a double take because there are images on social media and on the internet. Rio de Janeiro has an iconic landmark. It's the Christ the Redeemer. It's a really imposing structure on top of a hill. Now, this iconic landmark was seen adorned in the Korean hanbok last Friday night. Brazilian media outlets reported on Saturday that the statue was illuminated with the image of South Korea's traditional attire thanks to a special projection mapping event. So it wasn't actually physically wearing a gigantic hanbok. It
Put
was
on the statue,
it was
right.
projected onto the statue.
I think that's incredibly smart.
Isn't it?
If you think about, because it's also about being cost effective, right? If you use this giant beam of a thing,
Yep.
look how eloquent I sound. I'm not very tech savvy.
That's okay.
I guess you could be very thematic depending on the season.
You know, projection mapping, they do this everywhere actually these days. I think in the summertime on the old cathedrals in Europe.
Right.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
But I've never seen this be done, like a statue wearing something.
Putting clothes on a
Yeah.
statue, a giant statue.
That's
mind
right.
you. Okay.
So this event was part of the celebration marking the establishment of diplomatic relations between South Korea and Brazil, which started in October of 1959. The Ministry of Culture and the Korean Culture Center explained that this event was organized also to celebrate the opening of an exhibition titled Light of Korea, Jinju Silk Lanterns, that's taking place right now in Brazil.
I guess this kind of adds to the significance. This famous Christ the Redeemer, has it worn traditional clothing from another country before?
No, actually, that's another reason why this is getting so much buzz. The local media said that this was the first time this famous statue has adorned another country's traditional clothing. And the event was organized by the Korean Culture Center in Brazil, the Korean Embassy in Brazil, the city of Jinju, and the Brazilian cultural organization Scuola di Cultura.
Okay. I've got to say, because sometimes, they make these efforts and it just doesn't, it's not realized into
Yeah, but this
something
is really
beautiful.
striking, isn't it? Because the photo
beautiful.
that we're streaming right now, we're looking at right now, it's in the middle of the night,
Right.
obviously because it's a projection mapping, right? It has to be illuminated.
Could you imagine trying to do this
Yeah,
during
so
the
the
daytime?
background is completely dark,
Yeah.
and there's this, iconic statue wearing hanbok that's blue. It's a striking blue, I have to say.
I've got to say, I wonder if the color choice took into consideration. I feel like blue is a pretty neutral color in a sense that nobody really has strong animosity towards
Right.
blue. Green, I feel the same way.
Yes, there is a reason why that
Okay.
the Christ the Redeemer is wearing a blue hanbok.
Right.
So the designer that designed this hanbok, her name is Lee Jin-hee, and she explained the blue color symbolizes the birth of spring and life, and one of Korea's traditional 5 colors. The green in Brazil's flag represents the sky and the rivers. They also wanted to incorporate the G20 colors, as the G20 summit is going to be held in Brazil this coming
And it's
November. I guess so. So if you look at it, the overall hanbok is blue, but there are elements of green. And
I see it now.
each element, symbolizes something.
All right, something to look forward to. And the
Yeah.
Light of Korea Jinju Silk Lanterns exhibition is happening right now.
Yes, that's right. It's running until August 25th at the main hall of the Niterói Contemporary Art Museum. And the exhibition features a tunnel made of lanterns created from Jinju silk, as well as a 3D moon sculpture, and displays of traditional Korean hanbok.
Can Arirang afford to send us to Brazil? This
Can we go, Lena?
this is incredible. All right, so a big flashy event for another flashy event.
That's right.
Thanks, Erica.
Pleasure. Have a great day.
I'll see you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.